chamber to the people. Let the voices ring. Laws are made. Debates take the wing.
I know we are going to be reposed with responsibilities.
Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Watch the Senate and the House of Representatives, where decisions flow. The Parliament, the place to know. The Parliament, see power at play. The Parliament, your window into democracy at work, only on Global Television. Hello and welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament, which deliberates on legislative policies from the chambers of the National Assembly to the voices shaping Nigeria's democratic journey. Welcome once again. I am Aniete Patrick. Each week, we bring you the latest decisions, debates, and developments from the heart of the legislature, the bills shaping national policy, the motions addressing citizens' concerns, and the oversight actions holding government accountable. On this episode, we bring you the debates and motions that went down on the floor of the House before its adjournment to January 27, 2026. In a key step towards approving next year's national spending, the Nigerian Senate has passed President Bola Tinubu's 58.47 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill for second reading.
The passage followed a lead debate by Okoyemi Bamidele as the Senate leader, who sponsored the bill titled A Bill for an Act to Authorize the Issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 58.47 trillion naira for the services of the Federation for the year ending 31st December 2026.
The 2026 budget is therefore not an experimental document. It is a budget of consolidation, consolidating reforms already undertaken, stabilizing key economic indicators, and accelerating growth through targeted public investment.
Bamidele described the budget as one of the consolidation, building on the administration's reform to stabilize the economy and bolster public finances. During contributions, fellow senators called on the Appropriations Committee to conduct rigorous scrutiny.
President, defense appears to have the largest share. And that is the mindset of this administration, to secure us, protect us, and of course, our armed forces and other security agencies.
This budget, which is earmarked at 58.4 trillion naira, is remarkable because the four main things which Mr. President has set out to achieve. Number one, which is extremely fundamental, the role of government, the primary security of lives and property.
That they understand that this money be appropriated is meant to ensure prudent procurement, appropriate remuneration, and ratio payment to our men and women in uniform who are taking all the risk so that Nigeria may be safer.
The Senate has now referred the bill to the Appropriations Committee for detailed review.
A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 58 trillion 472 billion 628 million. Second reading taken. This bill is now committed to the Committee on Appropriation to revert to the Senate in 1 month.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has approved the consolidation of the 2024 and 2025 federal budgets, extending the implementation timeline to March 31st, 2026. Lawmakers also passed key electoral amendments and witnessed fresh defections that reshaped party strength in the chamber. Following a request by President Bola Tinubu, the House of Representatives has approved the merger of the capital component of the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Act. The approval followed the adoption of a report by the chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, Abubakar Bichi, who moved the motion on the floor.
On a bill for an act to repeal the Appropriation Act 2024, an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 43 trillion 561 billion 41 million 744,507 naira only, of which 1 trillion 742 billion 786 million 788,150 only is for statutory transfers.
The House repealed and reenacted the Consolidated Appropriation Bill, extending the budget cycle to March 31, 2026. Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, put the motion to a voice vote, and it was unanimously adopted.
For the repeal of the 2025 Appropriation Act of 54 trillion 990 billion 165 million 355,306 and enact a new bill to authorize the issuance from Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 48 trillion 316 billion 242 million 591,795, out of which 3 trillion 645 billion 761 million 358,925 only is for statutory transfers.
Lawmakers also passed for third reading a bill seeking to amend the 2022 Electoral Act to further regulate the conduct of federal, state, and local government elections. Meanwhile, political realignment dominated proceedings as 6 lawmakers from Rivers State defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressives Congress.
I hereby respectfully request that this notice be received and entered into the records of the House. Please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest consideration. Sincerely, Rep. Solomon Tibo.
The House thereafter adjourned plenary until January 27, 2026. The crisis in the People's Democratic Party has deepened as 2 senators from Rivers State have defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). Senators Orwell Onyeso and Berry Nada Nepi formally announced their defections on the floor of the Senate during plenary.
Senator Onyeso, representing River East, cited wide consultations with stakeholders and irreconcilable PDP divisions. Senator Mpigi from Rivers Southeast pointed to the party's unresolved crisis at all levels, invoking constitutional provision. Both lawmakers thanked PDP for their platform, but said persistent factional disputes made membership impossible, stressing the need to align with the federal government to serve constituents better.
Orwell Onyeso, I write to officially announce my defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. This decision is coming on the heels of several consultations with Rivers East Senatorial District people, whose collective aspirations I represent, and several other stakeholders to ensure the effective representation of Rivers East Senatorial District people in the red chambers.
A high-powered APC delegation, including the National Secretary South-South, Vice Chairman, Deputy National Chairman North, National Youth Leader, and Rivers State Chairman were all in hand to receive them, hailing the move as a boost to APC's influence in the South-South ahead of 2027 election. These bolster APC's numbers in the red chamber, while PDP grapples with more internal schisms.
The Senate has rejected a motion by FCT Senator Ireti Kingibe aimed at addressing pressing governance in Abuja.
Senator Kingibe, invoking Senate Order 41 and 51, highlighted the worsening management crisis, ongoing demolitions by the FCT, unpaid salaries and delayed payments of contractors, land allocation disputes, and the depletion of University of Abuja land, amongst other challenges facing the FCT administration.
Troubled that sewage systems across the FCT have been blocked and overflowing for nearly 8 months, with accumulated waste and untreated emissions now reaching catastrophic levels, constituting a clear and present danger of epidemics, environmental contamination, and large-scale public health disaster.
However, Senate President Godswill Akpabio ruled the motion ineligible as a matter of urgent national importance, noting that it bundled too many issues and differed from prior discussions with the senator. He urged her to withdraw the motion and file a substantive one focused solely on waste management.
Motions that tend to they don't focus on the subject matter. Please, I think you may need to have private discussions with some senators, because if you are having a matter of urgent national importance on waste management or waste disposal, you stick to it. You focus on it. That is our rule.
Senate Chief Whip Senator Tahir Mungunu and Kogi West Senator Sunday Karimi echoed the rejection, with Karimi accusing the motion of being brought in deceit. Other senators stressing it failed procedure rules.
After listening carefully to the remarks of the President of the Senate, to the extent that he is not fully briefed of the content of the motion, I still rely on Order 41 to say that you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand based on our rules.
Matters like this, as raised by the distinguished Senator Ireti Kingibe, are matters that should come under substantive motion on our order paper. There should be motions on notice. It's time for us to withdraw this motion.
No, it's important for us to get to the root of it.
This motion has to be withdrawn.
Please, sorry.
Let her come back with it. No, this motion has to be withdrawn.
However, Senator Kingibe agreed to comply.
Alarmed that in several instances, even where land disputes are subject to ongoing litigation, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory has allegedly proceeded with demolitions.
Despite differing views, the Senate agreed that urgent steps are needed to address waste management challenges in the FCT to prevent a potential public health crisis.
The House of Representatives is pushing towards a landmark legislation that could make Nigeria the first African country to pass a dedicated child online protection law. The proposed bill seeks to shield Nigerian children from online predators, harmful content, and abuse in the rapidly expanding digital space. The Child Online Access Protection Bill 2024, proposed by Representative Olumide Oshoba, has passed major legislative stages and is heading for final consideration before transmission to the Senate. Oshoba says the goal is clear: protect children from online exploitation while holding service providers accountable. He also revealed that the bill's timeline was slowed by adjustments to align with the federal government's new tax laws, especially provisions requiring service providers to contribute to online safety efforts.
We have aligned the bill to go in conjunction and sync with the new tax policy of Nigeria.
According to him, the legislation proposes strict penalties, including fines up to 10 million naira for corporate offenders and 5 million naira or imprisonment for individuals who violate the law. A major innovation in the bill is the creation of an e-commissioner, a new watchdog department under the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy. It will monitor harmful content, order takedowns, and sanction platforms that fail to comply. Oshoba explains that agencies such as NCC and NIDA will work with the new units to ensure strong enforcement and safety oversight.
The NCC is a hands-on ministry agency, and you know, NIDA, they are agencies that function optimally, and they're going to be involved in making sure the digital space, because I need to commend them. They're already doing a very, very good job, but we need someone that is actually concentrating on the online space and protecting our children from harm.
If passed, this would become Nigeria's first comprehensive framework to regulate children's exposure to the internet and a major milestone in the nation's digital safety architecture. Senate has rejected a bill seeking to establish a National Ethnic and Reconciliation Commission.
The bill, sponsored by Senator Anthony Ani of Ebonyi South, was turned down at its second reading during plenary. The proposed legislation presented by Senator Anthony Siaku Iyaro aimed to tackle ethnic marginalization, manage grievances, and promote national unity. The bill, however, faced strong opposition from lawmakers.
We have taken several steps to address insecurity as we are facing now. We lack a permanent national institution dedicated solely to ethnic harmony, reconciliation, and early warning conflict prevention.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio criticized the bill's wording, saying it suggested ongoing ethnic conflict and warned that a permanent commission might send a wrong message.
Those in support that this ethnic and reconciliation commission be set up as a law in Nigeria say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
Senator Adams Oshiomhole in the North also expressed concerns, describing the commission as an additional bureaucratic layer unlikely to offer practical solutions.
Why we should open our eyes and create additional overhead to achieve purposes that can otherwise be achieved, even voluntarily, troubles me. But if in the views of the Senate is an offense to shoot down anything, let it go.
While a few senators voiced support, the majority opposed the bill, leading to its rejection by a decisive vote.
Those in support that this ethnic and reconciliation commission be set up as a law in Nigeria say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it.
Also in the red chamber, the Senate also confirmed former federal lawmaker Ayo Ohulayat Omiduron as the executive chairman of the Federal Character Commission, FCC, approving her nomination along 37 commissioners representing the 36 states and the FCT. The confirmation followed the adoption of the screening report presented by Senator Allwell Hecho Onyeso, chairman of the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs. He said all nominees submitted the required documents and faced a thorough screening without any criminal petitions recorded against them. Mohammed Musa remains as secretary of the FCC. Presenting the report to the chamber, Senator Allwell Hecho Onyeso, chairman of the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs, informed lawmakers that all nominees have appeared before the committee on November 13th.
The committee received the curriculum vitae and other supporting documents of the nominees, as well as relevant security clearances, including the Nigerian police fingerprints, search report, and the vetting by the Department of State Services, with an acknowledgement of their respective documentations at the Code of Conduct Bureau.
Leader of the Senate, Senator Kwemi Bamidele, moved the motion for the Senate to dissolve into the Committee of the Whole with the chamber to consider the nominees.
Let's take a break here, and when we return on the flip side, we'll look at more unfolding of legislative proceedings before its adjournment. It's good to have you back on the Parliament. The House of Representatives has launched an investigation into an alleged non-payment of scholarship stipends to Nigerian students studying at home and abroad. Many of the affected students are reportedly stranded, while parents say their children's welfare and academic work are now at risk. The House Committee on Student Loans, Scholarships and Higher Education Financing has opened an investigative hearing into what lawmakers describe as troubling allegations of prolonged non-payment of scholarship stipends. The probe, led by Committee Chairman Ifeoluwa Ehindero, follows rising complaints that Nigerian scholars under the Bilateral Education Agreements program have gone months, some years, without the funds required for their upkeep. Parents under the Forum of Parents and Guardians of BEA scholarship recipients told the committee that the scholarship terms have been repeatedly breached. They lament that many of the students are stranded abroad, unable to feed, pay for transportation, or access health care.
The system is a challenge. So we think that government can consider restructuring the Federal Scholarship Board and give it additional mandate and responsibility and see how the funding can be easy.
Declaring the hearing open, Speaker Tajudeen Abbas, represented by David Agada, expressed concern that delayed payments could jeopardize the future of the scholars and the image of the country.
Inquiry will also explore issues related to communications gaps and inadequate student support structure to ensure that beneficiaries receive the assistance they are entitled to.
Committee Chairman Ifeoluwa Ehindero described the situation as a betrayal of national trust, saying the nation must protect the dignity of its students abroad. He says the committee will trace released funds, examine administrative lapses, and ensure such failures never reoccur.
Restoration of the original monthly stipend of $500, establishment of a reliable and transparent payment framework, creation of a comprehensive welfare monitoring system.
The committee is expected to summon all relevant government agencies as the probe continues. Parents say they are hoping for urgent intervention before more students abandon their studies. The House of Representatives is raising serious concerns over the continued withholding of more than 30 billion naira recovered from the National Social Investments Program Agency, NSIPA. The lawmakers warn that the delayed release of the funds is crippling the government's flagship poverty alleviation schemes and denying support to millions of vulnerable Nigerians. The alarm was triggered during Tuesday's plenary after a motion of urgent public importance moved by Seidu Abdullahi, member representing Niger State. Abdullahi told the House that NSIPA is the federal government's central coordinating body for major social intervention programs, from the GEEP micro credit schemes to the homegrown school feeding program and the grants for vulnerable groups. He said these initiatives were designed to lift poor households, boost school nutrition, support small businesses, and stabilize communities across the country.
Credible sources have indicated that this recovery funds estimated that over 30 billion have not been remitted into a CPA's designated treasury single account, thereby stalling program implementation and leaving millions of intended beneficiaries without the social and the economic support envisioned by the federal government.
The lawmaker recalled that President Bola Tinubu suspended NSIPA operations in January 2024 to allow for a thorough investigation into alleged financial misconduct. According to him, various security and anti-corruption agencies subsequently traced, froze, and recovered billions of naira from commercial banks and payment service providers, funds originally meant for key programs like trader money, market money, farmer money, and the vulnerable groups grant. He warned that the delay is stalling the implementation of social programs and leaving millions of intended beneficiaries without critical economic relief.
Deeply concerned that the prolonged non-release of these funds undermines the Renew Up agenda by slowing down poverty alleviation efforts, weakening small-scale enterprises, exacerbating hardship in rural and urban communities, delaying local economic stimulation, and eroding public trust in the government's social protection commitments.
Responding to the motion, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, who presided over plenary, announced that an ad hoc committee will be constituted to investigate all funds recovered from NSIPA between 2024 and 2025.
The Constitution will start from tomorrow. After we finish our consideration of report, because the other paper is going to be light, we'll start debate on the Constitution. This will take place tomorrow, Wednesday.
He assured that the committee's findings will help establish accountability and determine the exact status of the withdrawn funds. And that's the much we can take on this edition of the program. See you next week on the Parliament, on Global Television, on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. To stay connected, kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG. Thank you to my production team. Until we come your way the next time, I am Aniete Patrick. Bye for now.